One day, a lady was visiting her friend. And this lady that she was visiting was visually handicapped. In other words, she was bright, if you like. And she was visiting her because they were close friends. So she visited the home. And when she reached the house, she was welcomed. And she went in. And the lady, immediately she reached the house, she switched on the lights. And she said, I'm doing a few pancakes or snacks for you and making for you a cup of tea or coffee, if you like. And she went back to the kitchen. And after some time, she was done. And when she was done, she came back. And then the friend asked her, where is the washroom? And she switched on the lights. The visually handicapped lady, or the bride lady, switched on the lights for her. And she told her this is the washroom. And she went in to the washroom, of course, and came out and washed her hands. And she was impressed by the way the house was clean. And she sat with her and they talked for more than 1 hour because they were visiting each other. So at the end of the 1 hour or more, and they were very happy about it, the lady decided to go home. And as she was going home, she asked this lady, I have something very personal that I want to ask you. And she asked her, what is it? And she told her, as I was visiting your house, I kept noticing that you can make your way loud in the house. Even when you are making the snacks and everything. So why? Or why did you switch on the lights? And the lady who was bride was shocked. She wondered, did I not make for her very good snacks? I said, no, it's nothing about the snacks. Were you not comfortable with the house? I was comfortable. So what is the problem? I am trying to ask you a question, yes. When I was in your house, I noticed that you could make your way loud in the house all the time. So why did you switch on the lights? And the bride lady answered, I switched on the lights for you because you cannot see. And she was surprised. How would you switch on the lights for me and I can't see? And she said, and I can see, and she said, you see, I can basically get loud this house from the washroom to the kitchen, to my table, to my bedroom, and everywhere. But if I switch off the lights, you'll not see. Is this story about being handicapped? No, it is about what is seen. When we say we can see, are we seeing physically or cognitively? What is brightness? It is possible you can be bright when you have eyes and you cannot see. But it is possible that you may be visually handicapped and yet you can see. So what is seeing? What do we use to see? Is it our eyes, physical eyes, or do we use the cognitive eyes to see? And this takes us to why we do programs on counseling psychology, mind, and everything else, including our existence, including meaning and purpose. What is meaning and purpose of our lives? Is it something we see with our eyes, or is it something we see cognitively with our mind? That's why many people think that they can see, but they are actually physically or visually handicapped. They cannot see. But there are people whom you think they cannot see, including people who are visually handicapped and people who are old or even young children, but they can see, because seeing is a cognitive reaction. It's about what we can perceive. It's how we interpret the world. It's how we find meaning and purpose in this world. As we listen to this story, what comes to our mind? It asks us, which of these two ladies could see? Apparently, it's the so-called visually handicapped lady, whom we call bride, who could see, or who can be able to see. When you visit somebody who we say is bride or visually handicapped, and we see they are managing their lives, does it mean that they can see better than us? Psychologically, it's about perception. It's about our cognitive interpretation of our world. And when we are there, let us ask ourselves, what do we see when we open our eyes? What do we see when we open our minds? What do we see when we open our mouth, our own world? What do we see when we think about today, tomorrow, and the future? That which we see makes us either bright or able to see, because seeing is cognitive, and we must be able to see in our lives, with our eyes, with our inner eyes, every day of our lives. Get to ask yourself, what can I see? And every day of your life, ask yourself, what do I see? And what do I see for myself now and in the future? See your future, make good use of it, and perceive it well.